Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Gem and the Holograms? Yes, indeed. Hello once again. This is the Can We Talk About podcast. We are the podcast of modest aspirations, or at the very least, we don't want you reaching for that aspiration.
Ugh.
Kristen, those were two fucking terrible jokes right off the bat.
You spent time on that.
Bride Kimber, Brimber.
There we go. That's the kind of content people come to this podcast for.
We're, of course, Can We talking about your favorite show and mine, a show that we are a very dear friend of, that Neon Nightmare, that Pastel Phantasm, that oh-so-frighteningly fashionable 80s cartoon, air quotes classic, Gem and the Holograms. Hey, look, it's Joe! Hollywood Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm not a kid anymore. I'm Kristen.
And we are experiencing Gem and the Holograms via Shout Factory's Gem and the Holograms, truly outrageous complete series box set, as well as the wonderful world of Netflix. Kristen, what are you Netflixing this week?
Hey, remember when you thought that me talking about casting JonBenet was kind of a downer?
Yeah.
So I watched the Netflix documentary series, The Keepers, which is about some issues in the, I think it was 60s, at a Catholic school in Baltimore, where a sister was murdered, and in the 90s there became a big court case of two Jane Does that they called Jane Doe and Jane Roe, who had both repressed memories of sexual assault from the fathers there.
Oh, fuck.
So, ooh, it was heavy as shit, and all it did was make me even more angry at Outlast 2. Let me explain.
Please.
So, Outlast is a bad video game. Outlast 2 just recently came out, and they are very heavy on themes of religion. Don't quite say Christianity. They don't go that far. But you are given constant flashbacks to the main character's childhood, where he remembers his friend being sexually abused by a priest. And, man, it tries to be so edgy. Going, oh, man, don't cut yourself on all that edge going after the Catholic Church, Outlast 2. But it was really terrible. So then after watching this documentary, I was like, I'm even more angry now. Because...
Wow. Well, on a lighter note, I watched the anime series on Netflix, The Seven Deadly Sins, which is basically kind of a generic-y shonen anime.
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist.
It's, 24 episodes. It was pretty okay. I liked it. It was pretty good. Now, the weird thing is, Kristen, and speaking of Christianity being portrayed in a negative light, it started with, I saw a picture of a girl from some anime, and I was like, oh, what anime is this? And
ooh, that's a hot 2D lady?
Yeah, a hot 2D lady, and she got the nice anime boobs, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, I can get into that. Where's she from? What's her sign?
Now, that was from an anime called The Seven Deadly Sins, and I was like, I think I saw that on Netflix. Let me just start watching that. Now, I didn't do any further research than that, Kristen. Apparently, this is from a different anime called The Seven Deadly Sins.
It was hentai.
Now, I looked into it, and they were both basically called The Seven Deadly Sins. The second one here, the one with the big boob anime lady, is basically hentai, because I watched a few episodes of it, and in the first 5 minutes or so, there's the bare boobs, there they are, and I'm like, oh, okay, and it has to do with Lucifer being cast out from heaven, and the Archangel Michael is also a big boob anime lady.
So we didn't plan this at all, but Joe, I think we could not have watched two more diametrically opposed things this week. Your big boob angel anime, and me, my serious documentary about abuse in the Catholic Church.
Can't wait to keep watching. Anyway,
Hollywood Gem.
Looks like this week, Kristen, we've got part 1 of the Gem Season 2 finale. Hey, look, it's Gem, Hollywood Gem, part 1 for your consideration. I feel like one of us predicted, possibly off podcast here, that these would be episodes in the vein of the music awards, basically, where it's not about Gem in Hollywood. This episode, Kristen, should be called Kimber is a Big Dumb Teenager Who Still Has a Very, Disney vision of marriage in her giant red hair.
So there's not a brain there, it's just the red hair.
That's a bit of a wordy title, and I think Roger Slifer is just like, I think Hollywood Gem's better. We need to sell dolls.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that's what we have. That's what, again, Brimber. That's what we're looking forward to. So what we got going on here, Hollywood Gem, part 1.
Put down the top. Let's take a long drive down Rodeo Drive.
Gem is excitement, ooh, Gem is adventure, ooh, glamour and glitter, fashion and fame. Gem is truly outrageous, truly outrageous. Whoa, Gem, the music's contagious, outrageous. Gem is my name, no one else is the same. Gem is my name. But we're not misfits, our songs are bitter, we are
We start off, Kristen, written by Roger Slifer, comma, the Sky Dragon.
My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card.
We start at Starlight Mansion, where they are watching the announcements for the Best Actress Academy Award. Now, Kristen, I'm pretty sure I said, mostly as a joke, at the end of the last episode, I think Jem is going to win an Oscar. And here we are.
Oh, no, I was prepared for this.
Here we are. We've got Jim, nominated for Best Actress in what I assumed, Kristen. Now, Starbright didn't seem like it had the deepest plot.
They also never said what movie it was, but as far as we know, Jem hasn't starred in any other movies.
As far as I could tell, it was basically, Starbright was probably a Harlequin novel brought to the screen without all the whatever. I don't know what happens in Harlequin novels.
Yeah, so just some flavor words that you're using. Well, let's go over what we know about Starbright.
Okay, so we had...
There was a jungle.
At one point there was a jungle. We don't know if they cut that out.
Because the Misfits had a jungle too, but then, yeah, they also had a jungle. There was the piano in the greenhouse.
Johnny Stone. Why didn't Rio get nominated for anything? I bet he was really good as Johnny Stone.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, do you think Rio's like, I was also in that movie. Oh, my acting wasn't as good as Jem's?
Well, Kristen, Jem has to pretend to be a completely different person. No wonder she won an Academy Award for Best Actress.
I feel like one of the main messages of season 3 is that no matter what Jerrica looks like, she's still Jerrica.
They have an entire episode about that.
It's my favorite episode, I think.
All the holograms start cheering as Jem is nominated here, and Kimber goes, "Congratulations, Jem!"
That's also Jerrica.
Kimber's starting off hot in the episode here.
Hey, I'm pretty glad because you can take that as I'm looking at my sister, but I know she's Jem. Hey, great job, Jem. If Jerrica were just lounging around Starlight Mansion watching TV as Jem, I think I would be more angry.
That's true, you're right. We see magazines and newspapers talking about Jem's nomination. And Kristen, we return to a place that I was surprised when I saw this watching a season 3 episode. I didn't think we'd see her again this soon again. From Scandal, Harriet Horn is back here. Is she supposed to be Joan Rivers? Did we talk about this already?
I believe we did talk about it. One of the other things is I was waiting for an opening for me to go, that's right, it's the nail painting secretary from Music.
That's right, it's Scottish Synergy.
Oh no, Joni. She was Harriet Horn the whole time. She takes off her mask and she doesn't look that different. Her
guests at her show here, which she's still, I don't know if she's like grilling people or we'll talk about this in a second here when we get to it, but so she has her guests here, Kristen. Would you mind reading the other Oscar noms for Best Actress along with Jem here?
So here on the Harriet Horn show, we have Sigourney Weaver.
Who? What? Whom?
For I assume her role in Martian Man.
Extraterrestrial.
Meryl Saint.
She was in...
What movie was she in back in the 80s?
I don't know, actually. The first thing I remember...
Mamma Mia.
I was going to say The Devil Wears Prada, but okay.
Yours is better. She was also in that thing with Alec Baldwin.
What thing with Alec Baldwin?
The comedy. The romantic comedy.
A romantic comedy with Alec Baldwin? What?
I could be totally wrong. Let's find out. Meryl Streep. Let's go to IMDb, shall we? Oh! Ooh, slated for 2018, Mamma Mia, here we go again! Yes!
Wonderful.
Where's the It's Complicated.
Oh.
Was that Alec Baldwin?
I have no idea.
Let's see. Yes, it was!
Oh, cool. Steve Martin was in this movie too, what the fuck?
I was remembering all of that correctly. Okay, do I recognize any of these 80s movies? Oh, of course! A couple years later, Meryl Saint nominated for Sophie's Real Tough Decision.
I'm seeing on her IMDb page as well, Out of Africa, which I think won an Academy Award. I'm pretty sure. I remember that being highly contested or something. All right, let me check Out of Africa here. 7 Oscars. Fucking 7 Oscars. Jesus Christ.
I've never seen it.
I don't know what the fuck Out of Africa is about.
But I'm not done yet
with
the actresses. Of course, we have the esteemed Geraldine Pathos, who may actually be a fake person.
I don't know.
That doesn't sound like a pun on a name that I recognize. And last and, like, completely least, some pink lady whose name isn't even Rizzo.
Harriet says that Jem, kind of an unusual pick, Jem.
And Jem's like, why? Huh? I don't understand.
Because you're known more for your music, you dumb shit.
Harriet could have been so much ruder the way that she answered that. For someone that barbecues the star, she's like, well, you're known for your music. She's not like, you're not even an actress and it was the first movie you've ever been in.
I'm actually surprised that Geraldine Pathos ends up walking away here as the giant bitch when it probably should be Harriet Horn.
Yeah. It's like, you were in this movie because you became buddy pals with Movie Mansion Mustache Man.
So, Meryl Saint and Sigourney Weaver here are just like, no, come on, Jem was pretty good. I think her acting was phenomenal in that movie, if I do say so myself. Jem, whom is your acting coach?
And Jem's like, what's a coach? I don't play football. I think you misunderstood.
Is that sitcom with Craig T. Nelson? I loved him in The Incredibles. What?
No joke, voop right over Kristen's head, anyway.
Craig T. Nelson was in a sitcom called Coach.
Okay. From context clues, I was able to discern that.
Geraldine Pathos does not like Jem's answer one bit of being like, what?
She decides to get herself some pathos here by screaming at a pink lady on television.
You have never studied formally, and yet you compete with seasoned actresses.
Worth pointing out, Jem didn't say, hey, I think I would like to be nominated for an Oscar. Can you do that for me, Academy?
Jem didn't nominate herself. I mean, then again, what if we looked at the Academy and it was just the Countess and Howard Sands and Anthony Julian?
Yeah, so Sigourney Weaver is like, well, like it or not, she is nominated, so she's on this couch with us for a reason.
And Harriet is like, whoa, that's great, but the show's over. So how about, Kristen?
This 2-minute show?
Not the 2-minute show. The fact that Harriet reveals here that Cool Trash Magazine is now the sponsor of her show.
What? I mean, sure. What we don't know is that behind the scenes, since Scandal, Cool Trash Magazine is really above bar now. That's why they're still called Cool Trash Magazine.
They got the sleaze man out of there, whoever that guy's name is.
Slenderman.
Slenderman, yes, of course.
Or is it Libelman, since it's in print?
Cool Trash, we see a commercial basically where Cool Trash Magazine is already running a story about Jem versus Geraldine Pathos here.
Literally boxing.
Literally boxing. Puppets boxing. And Jem turns off the TV. That ad has been running 20 times a day for weeks!
How many days has it been since these nominations?
Aja and Rhea are basically just like, hey, don't sweat it. It's just Cool Trash Magazine, Kristen.
They didn't almost ruin Kimber's life. Don't worry about it.
It's nothing personal. It's, again, Kimber, diary. Nothing personal, sure.
Oh, how easily you forget.
But it is personal for Geraldine Pathos.
Good thing it never comes up again.
The doorbell rings, and Bonnie lets Jerica know that the Countess is here! Krista, what is with all these characters coming back? Next thing you know, they're gonna say Howard Sands is gonna be back in this episode.
Oh, Jem, please come with me. Howard Sands needs your help.
Oh, no. We're gonna get...
He fell down an open manhole. He cannot climb out by himself. Jem, please help.
And so affluent pink-haired woman is just like, yes, take me to that manhole. So
hang on, let me put on my racist racing suit for utility purposes first. Okay, now I'm ready. Let's get sanitationary.
We fade to the famous California Studios, Kristen.
I've heard of it.
California's famous California Studios.
Of course.
The Countess hasn't told Jem why they need her, but apparently...
Also, everyone came.
Everyone came, too.
They weren't invited.
The holograms are sticking around to this movie that they're not in. So, apparently, there is a shitty actress who's thrown a shit fit bee and just basically... Her name is Cherry's Jubilee.
Nice.
And we'll see her for a moment here. And she looks great, but I don't know if she shows up at all again.
I don't think so, which is... really sad because Cherry's Jubilee sounds like someone who would be the next Misfit.
I was gonna say, Cherry's Jubilee would have been a pretty cool Misfit, I think.
If only.
Cherry's is costing the studio millions! And as we see, they get right on set as she's just like, I don't want to share any screen time with a television set!
Didn't no one tell her that there's a real person acting it? I think she's confused. So,
Sean Harrison is playing the television set here. The man we all know and love, who, I don't know if they mistook Sean Harrison for an actor. I mean, he does say that he's doing the music in this episode. Yes, they explain it
in a way that doesn't piss me off, so
right.
They get a pass this time.
His television character also kind of looks and talks like Max Headroom.
Yeah, he does some stuttering. I almost just stuttered myself, but I decided against it because I'm not that good of an actress.
So basically, Cherry's Jubilee storms off set here, and the Countess arrives just in time because Howard Sands is like, oh, fuck, oh, god damn it.
Oh, do not say so many swear words, Howard. I I meant to only bring Jem, but the other ones came too. And your troubles are now over.
Jem and the pastels are here to save the day.
It's Jem and the hologram, so whatever.
The Countess basically signed Jem up for Cherry's role here, just like automatically. Basically, just like, oh, you can be the role that Cherry plays. And Jem's like, what? Huh?
Joe, you just don't have the Countess accent like I do.
Oh, you'd be perfect for the part.
You're getting there. I'll coach you. Jem, showing a little bit of sense for once in her pink-haired life. She's like, can I read a copy of the script first?
Can I know what I'm getting myself into, please?
I want to make sure I don't have to fuck that computer first.
Kimber wanders over to Sean Headroom over here, and she does like a, unknowing, like, I think this guy looks familiar.
And Sean comes out from behind the curtain. He is the Wizard of Oz.
Pay all the attention to the man behind the curtain, please. Please shower me.
Here he is. Ha-cha-cha-cha.
He does say something along the lines of, like, oh, how could you ever forget my amazing looks, or whatever.
Whatever. Kimber and Sean hug chastely, and that is their reunion.
I didn't know you were working on this movie.
I don't want to do a Sean accent.
You don't have to. He's the co-star and chief lyricist of this movie, so it is a rock musical, I guess. Kristen, considering the lines that we see Jem doing at the end of this episode, what the fuck is this movie about?
It appears to be some kind of Mad Max dystopian future, and that's all I have.
Do you think that, considering it's like she's, yelling at, like, you killed him, eh! That, like, the movie's about Sean Harrison, the computer man, becoming, like, an android man, maybe, and then they kill him?
Blade Runner.
Oh, shit.
Sushi. Goldfish.
Sean Harrison's a replicant, oh my god.
Oh my god. Kimber wouldn't understand, so I guess it doesn't really matter what she thinks.
Kimber would be like, I like that guy's gun! I like the way Daryl Hannah looks in this movie.
What would Kimber's opinions on the movie Blade Runner be?
This is boring.
That's what I was gonna say. I think she'd be like, this is boring. Let's watch something else. I want to watch Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell's hot.
Jem has been reading the script for 45 seconds, maybe. Not even.
She reads very quickly.
Little known fact about Jerrica Benson, speed reader. Jem says it's terrific and that she is in, and Kimber's just like, but what will the critics say? And the reporters?
Who cares?
I can't live my life wondering what other people might say. I've got to do...
You're gonna regret that later.
That's gonna come back right in your face.
Egg all over that face.
Rhea walks over and smooth as fucking butter is just like,
I love you, Rhea.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're Hollywood Gem. Song number 1 of the evening, Hollywood Gem, which we're gonna play for you right now.
Hey, look, it's Jem, Hollywood Jem. Totally awesome, stylish and hip. Stopping traffic on Sunset Strip. Hey, look, it's Jem, Hollywood Jem. Doing the talk shows, posing for stills. Going to parties in Beverly Hills. There she is at the Polo Lounge. There she is on Rodeo Drive. There she is out in Malibu. Look alive, look alive, look alive. Hey, look, it's Jem, Hollywood Jem. Dressed in the latest, down to her toes, making impressions wherever she goes. There she is in the limousine. There she is at a big premiere. Hey, look, it's Jem, Hollywood Jem, Hollywood Jem, Hollywood Jem.
So that was Hollywood Gem. Kristen, Hollywood Gem's a good song.
I love it. It's like a toy commercial in my brain.
I was gonna say, Hollywood Gem sounds exactly like what you would hear in a toy commercial, much like Glitter and Gold, and again has the same, like, wow, that's fucking great kind of stuff going on.
I was very into it. I wonder if I can find the toy commercial somewhere on YouTube.
I don't think there was a Hollywood Gem toy commercial.
No.
Because, like I said, Glitter and Gold is basically the last stuff that they did with Gem dolls.
Depressing.
I think Hollywood Gem, I don't know if they made a Hollywood Gem doll, actually. I know that Integrity did.
Please stop all these unmade gem dolls. You're giving me depression.
So Hollywood Gem, good song, playing the fucking, the thing that we complain about with Gem songs all the time, completely straight, but at least the song is good to where, doing the talk shows, posing for stills, going to parties in Beverly Hills, all of them, literally, we see all of that.
She is on a talk show. She is posing for stills. She's at a party in Beverly Hills.
There she is at the Polo Lounge.
Yeah, there she is on Rodeo Drive.
There she is out in Malibu, although, Kristen, if you noticed, the car asset in the front of like, the foreground there, it was blocking the Welcome to Malibu sign.
Well, whatever. The cartoon told us where she was, so we know where she was.
We see there's the Gem hot air balloon comes back for the first time probably since Truly Outrageous.
Nice. We miss at the beginning of the song when it talks about her stopping traffic. It's not as though she's on the sidewalk and people are like rubbernecking trying to get a look at Hollywood Gem. It's Gem literally walking through traffic, forcing the cars to stop with her body.
The Chinese Theater, there she is in the limousine at the big premiere. Hey, look, it's Gem, Hollywood Gem. Hollywood Gem.
Also, there's a clickety-clack thing that says that the movie they are working on is called Future Rack.
Yes. Future Rack. Thank you.
Rack. That's what you call future titties.
Cut and print. Apparently that's all going in the movie.
Great! The song Hollywood Gem is going in Future Rock.
Gem is exhausted from acting all day, and a telegram guy walks right on set to deliver to her a little letter. I have a feeling that he was dressed like a bellhop, but I don't think that was the case.
In my memory, he was. I feel like you implant these things on me, though.
Gem opens it up, and all the holograms rush over to see what she got. Kristen, again, the holograms were hanging out on set all day at this movie without anything to do.
They're eating Howard Sands out of House and Home.
It's an invitation to a big soiree from Francois Truffaut, famous French director. Outrageous.
So explain how you've spelled Truffaut.
Trujeaxe.
So in the subtitles on Netflix, it's spelled Trugas. Trujas.
So Trujas and Trujex.
Trujax.
I don't think that's right. I did my best approximation.
Yeah, I like yours better. Because again, on the subtitles I was just like, yes, Francois Trujas. Is Francois Huge Ass here? It's a prank call.
We fade to the soiree. Gem arrives with Rio here, and Kimber, again, like 2 seconds after she just said outrageous, is just like, this is outrageous.
I really feel like I need to reiterate how excited I am about this.
Aja points out, famous Hollywood actor Flint Westwood.
He's hitting on young ladies, which is creepy.
So I said to him, go ahead, make my day. Who is this mystery actor, Kristen? Who could he be based on?
What movie is that from?
Dirty Harry, Sudden Impact? One of the Dirty Harry movies. There's like 7 Dirty Harry movies, I think.
I thought there was one. I've never seen any of them.
And then there's Michael J. Badger.
He's playing Johnny B. Good.
He's not wearing the Marty McFly stuff, is he, though? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
No. Francois greets Gem and Rio. He kisses Gem's cheeks, and Rio, in true season finale fashion, if we remember Glitter and Gold, Kristen, has a gigantic stick up his ass.
He's like, why do the French always have to overdo it? Little known fact, Rio hates French people.
Add that to the list of liars and deceivers.
He hates the Countess, too. He just never had an opportunity to say anything.
As soon as she lies or deceives Kristen, it's over.
Oh, she is out of there.
Gem asks if there's any reason that they were invited, and Francois...
He is concerned about Jim's movie career.
Oh, I didn't know the Countess was here.
No, my voice was deeper. That's how you could tell it was Francois.
Jem says that Howard Sands has been great to work with, and Francois is just like, no. His films are so...
So the word he's looking for is like...
Shit. Garbage.
Aggressively mainstream.
Popular?
Yes, exactly. His films are so popular, they appeal to the masses.
And that's not good?
No! No! Oh, you silly pink woman! Oh, I would not want you to be my guest.
Francois is saying that Gem can only win the Oscar when she proves to the Academy that she is a serious artiste.
So, in order to do this, even though I assume the Oscars are soonish, he's like, oh, I appeared in one of my movies.
And Gem's like, but Howard Sands?
And he goes, fuck him!
She goes, I'm very flattered by this request, but I made a commitment to Howard Sands, and I just can't break that commitment.
I love him.
Kristen, commitments are a big thing in this episode, aren't they?
Oh, they sure are. Howard Sands gave Gem a promise ring.
Francois is deeply disappointed. He's like, oh, I see how it is. I see you don't care about your budding movie career.
No, I get it. I get that you're a movie hussy.
Jem and Rio walk away. Rio's just like, why don't we just enjoy the party? We were invited, so let's eat all his cheese.
Hey, no problem. So, we move on to my favorite thing in the entire episode.
So we see Kimber and Sean and Michael J. Badger.
Well, they're in the hot tub, hanging out at the hot tub at this pool party. What's weird about that? Hey, Joe, what's weird about that?
They're all fully clothed in the hot tub, Kristen.
What the fuck? Kimber's wearing her ball gown in this hot tub. And she just looks up at Jem like, this is normal.
I could really get used to this lifestyle, Kimber says, martini glass in hand.
She's not old enough to drink whatever's in there.
It's Sunny D!
That's what they told me. My head feels funny.
It actually does look like lemonade, and fuck, I think I was going to make a joke about doing a girl promise with the lemonade with Sean Harrison and Michael J. Badger.
I felt really left out last week.
Rhea pulls Jem away. She's like, Jem, you have to come see this. Francois meeting with some reporters and he's shit-talking you.
Joe, I just realized if Kimber had been making a lemonade promise in that bathtub, then she wouldn't be having this issue with Jeff later, because she wouldn't have let boys come between her and Sean and Michael J. Badger.
We go over to Francois here. He is denying that he ever asked Jem to star in his movie. Maybe that was Jem's publicity machine that started that rumor.
Even though he did it like 2 seconds ago with witnesses.
So Rio, being Rio-ass Rio, walks over to Francois, grabs him by the collar, and Kristen, what does he say?
He actually gets a little bit backwards there and says he despises liars and hates deception.
It's been too long since he said it, he forgot how to say it.
I forgot what order I went in last time. Anyway, hope you don't have your cell phone. Boom, in the pool.
So he gets pooled here, and Jem is like, thanks, Rio. The crowd sounds like they're all cheering too, so I guess Francois is an asshole to everybody.
This is his house, so I don't know. I'm assuming everyone has to go home after this.
And he says, you cannot trifle with me. I am artistry incarnate. I'll ruin your career.
How many of them, and which careers?
Okay, buddy.
I'll dunk all of the holograms, and Rio too. You'll never work lights in this town again. I don't think he could do anything about Jem and the holograms being famous rock stars.
End of segment 1, threat of career ruining. Kristen, I don't remember part 2 of Hollywood Jem. Do we see Francois again?
I don't know. I hope he comes back if he's making all these big statements.
Segment 2 starts. Kimber asks if Francois can really do anything, as she and Sean are out doing a little midnight drive here.
Sean's like, you know what? I'm not sure, but hey. British phrases of encouragement.
It's not the end of the world. Basically, Sean is just like, let's forget that plot point because it might not come back.
Don't worry about it. We have our own things to be concerned about, and we only have 2/3 of this episode left.
Time for the real driving force of the plot to start here, as Sean has driven Kimber out to make out point here, and
Saucy.
Kimber assumes that Sean brought her here. Oh, you brought me here to take my mind off Jem. Yeah, okay.
He says yes, and the great part is that 2 seconds later, Kimber is like, no, but really, do you think Jem's gonna be okay? It's really romantic. I'm so glad I remembered that I had this thought. Kimber could be mid-coitus with Sean. And she would look at him and go, well, I'm really worried about something Jem said, actually. It's, couple things. He loves it.
Kimber here, yes, asked if it was the right thing to do to stay with Howard's film, and Sean, again, it's you gotta honor your commitments, or commitments, as it pertains to Kimber.
Nice. Kimber is bad at that in this episode.
That's why they're commitments, Kristen. Aha, I didn't make a commitment with you. I made a commitment, which means I could be a fuck ass and it's okay.
Yup. That means I don't care about other people's emotions as long as I get what I want. Kimber.
Kimber calls Sean terrific, and we've got song number 2 of the evening, You Already Know, which is a decent, it's a pretty decent hologram song.
This is a song about not wanting to do emotional labor.
Why does this sound like a 50s song, Kristen?
Yeah, Kimber's brain went retro.
It has like the 50s chord progression, doesn't it? Like the like that, right? We've got Dancing in the Stars. We see them composing together.
A little creepy that he stands behind Kimber kind of like dad style with his hands on her shoulders. Might as well be Emmett Benton in that shot.
We've got a Moonlight Drive, which they've already done once already, so Kimber's probably just like, what?
Any amount of driving in Hollywood just makes me think of The Disaster Artist and how obsessed they are with the way that James Dean died.
We go to a carnival. They're on the carousel. Hopefully the same
Kimber's still wearing her fancy soiree ball gown this whole time.
That's still completely wet, drenched.
Yep. She definitely gets a cold. She definitely gets athlete's foot.
I hope it's the carousel from Roxy Rumbles that they're on here.
I hope so too.
As well, they're at the arcade. I hope it's the arcade from Alone Again.
Perfect.
So they could play some Alien Terrorist or whatever that video game was.
And Bonnie can rappel down from the ceiling and tell Kimber that she's arrested because she was underage drinking earlier.
We cut back to the party and Bonnie is there again on Ashley's shoulders in a trench coat.
We're gonna get him this time. Ding-a-ding!
They're walking on the beach. Sean gets swallowed up by the tide, spelled like a tie, tied like a knot, because I was drunk, I guess, when I wrote
I
that.
guess so. Man, homophones.
We've got a beach campfire. They kiss. How romantic, Kristen. You already know how much I love you, whatever. That's the song.
I don't feel like telling you. I'm still really broken up about Stormer, so I'm really throwing myself into this relationship.
Sean says he thinks it's time he and Kimber made more of a commitment to one another, and...
A little vague, not nearly as vague as Craig Phillips vague.
Oh, Sean, I can't wait to tell Jerica that we're engaged!
In what?
Kimber, honey, no, Kimber, no. He just meant going steady.
See, he didn't have a pin to give her. I guess that was the problem.
Kristen, even then, Sean is just like, I mean, I was like maybe seeing each other exclusively, but I don't know about engaged.
See, their previous relationship status was, we hang out whenever we both happen to be in town.
What did Kimber think their relationship was? Does Kimber not know how relationships work still?
I suppose once we go further into this episode, we learn definitively that the answer is yes.
He's just not ready for marriage yet, and Kimber, again, egg all over her face, is like, oh, ugh.
I'm sorry. I kind of jumped the gun there, didn't I? Stupid Kimber! Stupid!
I'm so stupid!
You can tell my roommate isn't home, right? That's why he lets me yell so freely.
Sean is sorry that he wasn't more clear. And, again, this is where the word going steady would have definitely helped. But again, not like...
Sean neglected to say the word sister. That's all. No bombs this time, so...
I want to go steady with Jerica.
Oh.
I'm moving in.
Is it okay if I bone your sister?
That's the next level of our relationship.
Yes.
I need your permission to bone Jerica.
Oh, the polyamory isn't so funny when it's turned around on you, is it, Kimber?
Back at Starlight Mansion, Kimber says goodnight to Sean. She's crying, and as soon as
He
she
doesn't
gets...
give a shit, he drives away.
As soon as she gets in, Mom-ass Mom Jerica is there, just being like, do you know how late it is?
It's past 3 o'clock!
Cut me some slack, Jack. I'm not a kid anymore, and you're not my fucking mother.
This is a really good Denny impression.
Thank you.
What kind of drugs, Kimber?
Yeah, why doesn't Kimber get the Laura treatment here?
No one cares.
See, people care about Kristen, we have to remember, Kimber's an orphan too now, I guess.
I guess so. They only want to condescend to her, not help her, though.
As soon as you turn 16, fuck it, that's it. You're on your own, orphan.
I'm emancipating myself.
We fade to the next day on the set here. Jem, the holograms, Rio, and Sean are all here, minus Kimber, about to watch a stunt be done. And I guess, I don't want to say that it's like, why did they not know that Jeff Stuntman was in this movie? But I guess it doesn't matter.
I guess if until this point he hadn't seen them either, the movie crew might think that they'd never met him before, so it wasn't worth introducing him just yet. Wait until he has his job done, then introduce him. Whatever. Hey, drama!
Even though they all worked on Starbreak together.
Whatever. This might not be the same crew. All those people got fired because Howard Sands is an ice cold axe man.
What is Howard Sands must be a director then, because where's Anthony Julian on this movie? Why did Howard Sands have Anthony Julian direct Starbright?
He didn't feel like it.
I thought he was just affluent money man.
Well, he's not directing either.
I thought he was directing, isn't he?
No, I distinctly remember seeing a generic person being like, action! And me thinking, so I guess Howard Sands just isn't here.
Well, anyway, we have Sean, who is thankful here that he doesn't have to do his own stunts, and suddenly Rio starts having fucking Starbright flashbacks of just like, swinging on a vine.
Oh god, so many things. So Rio, who, among the other things he's an expert in, explains the entire stunt. I assume he just heard someone else explain it and is now spitting it back out. And we get to see a lot of cool assets that were definitely from Transformers.
Kimber arrives, she's on her way to the vantage point here, and Jeff Stuntman is of course the stunt driver, and as he's doing the stunt, notices Kimber and becomes very unprofessional to the point of it nearly killing himself.
He gets a boner while he's doing the stunt. It's very distracting.
He loses focus and crashes here, and thankfully he hits some hay bales. Like, the car doesn't flip or anything, it just kind of skids, and he hits the hay bales, and he gets out.
Everyone freaks out, and personally, I think they're overreacting.
And he's blonde again.
Ah.
So, the thing is, Kristen, if he's stunting for Sean, which I don't think he is.
Because last time we were like, why is his hair brown? No, it was just when he showed up last time. What the fuck episode was that?
That was Glitter and Gold.
Glitter and Gold. What the fuck was he doing in Glitter and Gold?
He was just there. He came to pick up Kimber from the mall, so they were just like...
he just rolled up. Okay. So we had guessed that maybe his hair was a different color, because theoretically whoever he was stunting for might also be brunette. We got you, Jem. That falls apart here, so fuck you. Cartoon gotcha.
Kimber immediately runs over here, and Jeff is just like, well, seeing you, I got popped a boner in a car crash, but that's not important. It's great to see you. How you doing?
And he immediately starts being rude to her.
It's kind of weird, because he's just like, hey, it's been too long, and then Sean's over, and, well, Sean kind of acts, I don't want to say Sean acts weird first, but Kimber's definitely being a little, not grabby, necessarily, but...
Sean gives them some space, because he's feeling weird, and then Jeff is like... Who's that wimpy British guy who's famous, who I should know?
Shouldn't Jeff know that Sean's a famous British musician? But, like, he was the fucking teen heartthrob dude. Like, come on.
I guess he bonked his head so many times he just doesn't have room for British teen heartthrobs in there.
Jeff becomes Rio in this episode, basically, Kristen.
Yup.
A worse... I liked Jeff Stuntman, and he becomes a worse Rio in this episode.
I began to think while watching this, so we, again, it's a children's cartoon, whatever. We say sometimes that the shit that Rio does is, like, real fucking not cool, would not fly in real life. Jeff is literally straight up emotionally abusive to Kimber.
He turns into Rio here when Kimber explains who Sean is, and he says, does he mean anything to you? Fucking rude. Wow.
She's like, I guess. And he goes, nothing's changed, has it, Kimber? You're still leading on half the male population.
Well, I'm dropping out of the game.
And then he gets on a motorcycle and goes backwards out of there.
Kimber calls for Jeff, and there's some weird scale issues here as she kind of, like, runs towards the car, but the car's kind of, like, small, so she ends up looking kind of giantessy.
Giant Kimber coming to kill Jeff.
Rio goes to comfort Kimber, and she's like, I suppose you came over to tell me I got what I deserved. Ugh.
And Rio's like, no.
No, honey, no, come on, no. But it's what you were thinking, wasn't it?
Okay, you got me that time.
Rio admits it pretty much was what he was thinking, yes, and he advises Kimber to pick a goddamn boyfriend already.
You mean the way you've picked between Jem and Jerica?
And dropped. No, don't even get to hear his response.
It fades right the fuck out. That's not fair.
We fade to Sean's house, I guess. Kimber is here, and she apologizes to Sean. She should have explained who Jeff was to her, which, if you remember... In Glitter and Gold, the last time that we saw Jeff was him storming away because Kimber was again leading on half the male population.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he straight up tells her that they're Dunskies.
So, couldn't Kimber have been just like, he's an old friend? Like,
I guess, I feel like it's asking a lot for her to just lean over to Sean and be like, that's my ex!
Kinda. I mean, even that, again, Kimber doesn't know how relationships are, whatever. So.
No. Everyone behaves pretty badly. Sean has some, like, floundering issues, but for the most part, he's chill. The fact that Kimber and Jeff are goddamn crazy is the problem. He's a little cold to her, but Kimber says, no. I like you a lot, and I like working with you.
I do too, Kimber. I really do.
And then they play the Cheers theme.
Sometimes you wanna go where Kimber has only one boyfriend. Bum, 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 bum. So please make me your boyfriend. Bum, bum, bum. You wanna be where you can't see. You only have one British teen heartthrob boyfriend. You wanna go where Sean Harrison's your boyfriend. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
No! I wanted to get in on that too, but you were on a roll, so I didn't want to stop you.
Boy, oh boy. So we cut to Jeff stunting here. He is on top of a building, and yes, here's where generic director man is calling out, being like, Sean, you're up too high for the stunt. And he's just like, that'll be great, fuck it. I have pull around here, I'm just the stuntman.
Whatever, I'm mildly suicidal.
It'll be great. Roll film. Jeff jumps off the building, and we have a fucking really rough scream from Kimber at the end of segment 2 here. Like,
she does the good Skimber scream she does so well.
The good Skimber cream.
Ew. I don't like how that sounds.
Start of segment 3. Kimber screaming. Scrimber. Jeff lands safely on the crash mat. No bruises or anything. It probably looked great on film, so he was right. But
Kimber does run over and say, like, didn't you hear everybody say that was a bad idea? Me, not a professional stuntman, even I can tell that was a bad idea. What the fuck is your problem?
what do you care?
What the hell? At least when Minx gets suicidal, she actually responds to when people show concern for her.
Song number 3 of the evening, Too Close. Remember this song, Kristen?
Oh, what episode was this from?
This was Frame Up?
I don't remember.
Frame Up. Also, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was called Too Close this time, but I'm pretty sure in Frame Up it was called Too Close for Comfort.
I don't remember.
Imagery of Jeff stunting, doing dangerous things, nearly killing himself for Kimber's
Too close, living in the danger zone,
Leave.
playing volleyball. Take my breath away.
I thought you were doing playing volleyball, playing ping pong in the back of a semi.
No, but that is one of my favorite stupid things I've ever come up with, so thank you for retaining that.
We have him pulling out in front of a future semi where people are playing ping pong on the back, of course, and just kind of dumping
I
off.
said it was a flatbed truck, but,
Whatever. Flatbed semi, same difference. Tomato.
You can set up 2 ping pong tables on the back of the flatbed truck, which is how Shayna and Laura's parents were killed simultaneously. And then Laura went back in time because she's significantly younger than Shayna.
We've got him on a future motorcycle riding towards a future tank, which is probably...
Tron.
It's firing something here, and it probably should...
Lasers.
Again, yeah, there should be Tron effects here when this is happening, but whatever.
Transformers. This
Tank-
shit's from our cartoon.
Jeff stands on the motorcycle and then jumps onto the tank here. We've got him running through fire and explosions, and that's basically all the imagery in the song here.
What is this movie about?
Krista, don't we remember at the end of Starbright Part 2 where where Kimber was threatened by running too close to the explosions? She knows about this. Jeff taught her about this. And she's
That's how she lost her leg, I think.
She lost her hand. Now she got the hook hand, Kristen.
No, Kimber has the peg leg.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
How dare you?
Jem and
How
Rio
dare
have
you step to me on my own podcast?
Jem and Rio have the hook hands. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Rude. Get your facts straight, number 1 Jem fan.
So Jeff loses his leg here, and he has a peg leg from now on.
Ah, they are perfect.
That's the reason they get married.
Shh, don't spoil it. Kimber's like, are you okay? And he goes, fuck you! And he goes into his trailer with, like, no fanfare.
Kimber follows, and correctly, she's like, why are you being so mean to me?
You're like, no, seriously, this is fucked up.
Because it hurts me to see you with him.
I'm pretty sure she is, like, very purposefully not hanging off of Sean while she's in front of Jeff because she has some amount of tact, but he's like, seeing you stand next to a man that I know to be single is painful.
You lost, buddy. Wait in line. Fucking
God.
get a goddamn ticket and stand behind.
Sean has to go back to England eventually. Calm the fuck down.
Kimber is so confused. She likes Sean and Jeff.
And prom's tomorrow!
Who's she gonna get to go to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance with her?
Oh no.
He doesn't care for you the way I do. Okay, alright, buddy.
Whatever. I wonder what Storma would have to say about all of this.
He doesn't care for you the way I do.
That's exactly what she would say.
Jeff tells Kimber...
And then Lindsay busts in. He doesn't care for you the way I do.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
sorry,
you're-
I thought you were Jem. I'll see myself out.
Again, crashing through the roof like a fucking dart.
Like the Kool-Aid Man, but from above!
Head first, of course, too.
Of course. She suplexes Sean before she breaks her good measure. I meant Jeff, but Sean too.
Everybody on this movie said, where's Jem? Lindsay walks onto every single shot and ruins it trying to interview Jem.
I'm sorry, you in the middle of acting, Jem? Tell me about your acting!
Please give me something! I need the ratings!
It's been 24 hours! I need my fix!
The news cycle!
And she is super high on cocaine.
Oh no, Susan Blue, what are you doing?
She's doing,
Coke. Anyway, Jeff is like, Kimber, say that you'll marry me.
And Kimber's like, ah!
Kimber's face lights up, like lights up puts it lightly.
Yes!
Pardon the phrasing.
Finally, validation!
Jeff proposes to Kimber down on one knee and everything.
No ring.
No ring. And Kimber has, I don't know, this is all so sudden.
I did just agree to date someone exclusively.
He gave me a promise ring.
Oh, crap, this is 2 that I have now.
They kiss, And
Oh no, that was Jem, never mind.
they kiss and the...
Oh, but Stormers!
Do I have a promise ring from Lindsay? Where did that come from?
Hang on, why am I wearing so many rings?
They kiss and the best Jeff gets is, I'll think about it.
I need to go now.
My planet needs me.
Goodbye.
Fade back to Starlight Mansion, where Jerrica is practicing her script, but you have no right to detain him!
Can I take a crack at it?
Sure.
But you have no right to detain him!
But you have no right to detain him. Prom's tomorrow.
You have no right to detain him! Blade Runner!
That's just what the cops are doing back to her.
Tears in the rain!
Kimber walks in, wondering if Jerrica has a minute. Guess what? Jeff asked me to marry him.
You said no, right? And laughed in his face and then pushed him in the dirt?
No, I didn't do that. I told him I'd think about it.
Jerrica says, Kimber? Oh, it was at this point that I started to wonder if, since Out of the Past, Kimber has aged at all. Maybe she just got a little bit taller, but she's still 6. Kimber, you can't marry anyone because you're 2.
And Kimber takes offense, throwing the line of, well, didn't you say that I'm not supposed to care what other people think, so why did I come to you for your dumbass opinion anyway, you fucking dumb fuck you?
Hey, Kimber, there's a difference between what other people think, public opinion, Geraldine Pathos' opinion, whatever the fuck her name is, and the opinion of your closest living relative.
Maybe I will marry him.
Yes, marry for spite. That's how all good marriages start.
We cut to Sean. He's looking at a jewelry shop here. There he is at the Polo Lounge. There he is on Rodeo Drive at the jewelry shop here.
Apparently seeing Jeff give him a little bit of a kick in the ass because he knows that Kimber has a tendency to accept engagements and promise rings from any person willing to part with them.
He's looking for an engagement ring here. It's for a very special lady. For a dear friend of his.
So Joe, a large part of Strong Women Do Bong Soon was watching the 2 different male leads in the love triangle go to either jewelry shops or coffee shops and attempting to pick out something for the main character and being like, she's really cute, so make sure you give me something that's as cute as she is. And I loved it!
Sean gets a ring here that I believe says is one of a kind. The person at the counter is just like, oh, well, this one's one of a kind. And
Sean doesn't know anything about jewelry, so that's probably a lie.
Also, looking at it, we'll have to confirm this. The way that the ring looks in this episode, I remember it being kind of pointy at the top. Like, is that?
Yeah, it looks like something that you could, if you punch someone while wearing it, you could do some damage.
Because I'm pretty sure in the video for Tomorrow's My Wedding Day, they have Jeff holding that same ring. We'll have
Suspicious.
to make sure to keep watch for that, because we might not remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to filming. Okay, Jem, this is your big scene of sorrow and anger.
But you have no right to detain him.
Give it a little more oomph. How about this is, again, sorrow and anger.
But you have no right to detain him.
You almost try.
Proms tomorrow.
Perfect. Cut. Leave my voice in there, too.
Yes. I love the ad-libbing. Let's add a prom scene.
The Thought Police have imprisoned Sean for unauthorized behavior. Did they say Sean? I assume it's Sean.
Maybe. He's not a computer man anymore. He's a Blade Runner now. I mean, a replicant, because those are different things.
The scene starts here in this episode called Hollywood Gem, Kristen, and we have Kimber walking through the foreground saying, hey, here's where the plot is going. Please stay away from the pink lady.
And then Kimber is the star of the movie. Unfortunately, Hollywood Kimber doesn't have the same ring to it.
Halimber. Sean also goes, hey, Kimber, presumably rooting the shot of, like, I'm assuming Jem's perfect take of, but you have no right to detain him. And it's like, oh, fuck, God damn it, Sean.
Hey, okay, let's do it. So, you say the wonderful Jem line.
Okay.
And I will ruin the shot.
Okay, thank you. But you have no right to...
Kimber!
Damn it.
And then Sean just walks away. And that's in the movie.
Sean has something important to talk to Kimber about, and he's clearly just, reaching for the ring, straight up in his pocket, going for it, almost about to fucking go down on one knee. And then we get...
Bonsai.
Remember when Jem did that? Why did she do that?
Jem did that?
He comes in with a Tarzan yell, Jeff does, and sweeps up Kimber.
Breaks her neck in the process.
Oh, Gwen Stacy.
Oh, Grimber Gracie. No, I lost it.
You made her a Gracie, Kristen, a member of a very distinguished MMA family.
I'm sorry.
Knee strikes.
I apologize for my error.
To think, Kristen, I thought Jeff Stuntman was cool at one point. I held him as like, wow, he's teaching us about stunting. Thanks, Christy Marks. Fucking Roger Slifer, what did you do?
He's a bad person now.
I had to talk to you. In private.
You couldn't have waited 2 more seconds?
He couldn't wait a moment longer without an answer. Please, marry me, please.
Sure!
Oh, wait, huh? What?
Yeah, alright.
So I don't have a promise ring yet, but...
You bitch! And then she slaps him. And with all those rings, it hurts.
Sean walks away, clearly pretty pissed here, as Sean bride carries Kimber and swings on the rope, and is just like, oh, next time I'll be carrying you through the threshold.
Right before I have sex with you for the first time.
I guess being married to you will never be dull.
I like how ambiguous of a statement that is. It's not necessarily positive.
And then she looks over her shoulder. She's like, wait a minute, Sean, that's right.
Oh, I guess I should tell him the good news.
She runs up to catch up with him here, and she's like, so, Jeff asked me to marry him, and I said yes. You're not mad, are you?
I mean, like 2 days ago, we literally reaffirmed our commitment to each other, but his head twists around like an owl, and he goes, nah, you know what? I wasn't ready to settle down. You are. It's cool. And you know what? He sounds bitter, but he could have been so much more of a dick about this.
He definitely could have been. He gives a bitter congratulations to her and is basically just being like, I'm not mad. No.
Do I look mad? Because I'm not.
Jem is still performing her big scene, screaming, murderer! You have no right to murder, detain him!
Sean's not even there.
As Sean walks through the foreground here, he heads to his trailer, tosses his ring in the garbage, and Kristen, Jem's words are still being heard over this here. Please, let us take a moment to get into the mind of Hey Look, It's Jem, Hollywood Jem.
If I may, pay tribute to Oscar-winning actress Jem. His body may be alive, but his spirit is dead.
To be continued.
Hey, look, it's dead. Hollywood dead.
So that was part 1 of Hollywood Dead, and
Yep.
Oh boy, talk about fucking dramatic, Kristen.
I love the drama.
Tomorrow is Kimber's wedding day, Kristen.
Sick.
That's what part 2 is going to be about. And, you know, the whole thing with fucking sitcoms, weddings, babies, whatever. They're really clambering for ratings here. They're kimbering for ratings.
No, stop. You've outstayed your welcome.
And, Kristen, I really wonder if at this point they had, like, determined that the Jem toy line was going to be canceled. Because, you know, like, again, going back to all that fun toy talk we were doing. Because if you remember in Brit Rock, I had said that, you know, episodes were being aired, like, daily at this point, which I know, you know, some cartoons do that. I remember that being, you know, Toonami, Dragon Ball Z did that.
But perhaps they were trying to pump them out instead of just airing the dub of a cartoon that has been out for a very long time in Japan.
And, God, were they just waiting for the dub on Toonami of Dragon Ball? I remember, like, fucking months between Dragon Ball Z episodes. Why?
I don't remember at all. I also definitely did not watch it in chronological order, which, of course, when they were on Namek didn't really make a difference because it moved at a snail's pace.
I watched it pretty... I remember not seeing the second saga for the longest time, like the first saga.
I think I knew what happened in that, but then I was like, but Vegeta's a good guy, so when did that happen?
Yeah, I started watching around the time of before Vegeta became a good guy on Namek, kind of, right around there.
Hey, Joe, do you remember how sick it was when Frieza came back and Trunks killed Frieza in, like, one hit?
I remember that shit was fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
I remember... I don't know if I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but I remember very distinctly when they were airing, like, the previews for when they were going to do the Goku and Frieza episodes. Like, they would show Super Saiyan Goku, and I would be like, who the fuck is that guy? Who's that character? Why is this
different? That one's blonde.
Who's this blonde-haired man fighting Frieza?
I don't understand. Oh, man, those days. If I didn't know it was 5 million episodes, I would love to rewatch Dragon Ball Z.
We've got up to the Cell games on DVD, Kristen.
I know, because we watched all of those together.
But yeah, so that was Hollywood Jem? Is that what we were talking about here?
I'm not sure. I think Isn't this podcast about Dragon Ball Z?
Now's the point in the evening where I'll list off all of the fun contact things where you can find us. You'll follow us on the Twitter machine at CWTAPod. You will follow us. I realize I turned Can into Will there, but hey, you will follow us. You will follow me at Octopus. That's AWKTAPUS.
You will follow me at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark, where I am selling definitely dubiously legal graphics on shirts from Persona 5 for cosplay. So if you want some cool shirts,
Get all up on that there. So
yeah, get them before I get slapped with a cease and desist.
You will find us on iTunes. You will find us on SoundCloud. You will find us on Stitcher Radio. Leave a rating, give a review, do whatever you feel like as long as it falls in line with the fact that I said you will do it. You will also reach us, drop us a line, cwtapod@gmail.com, where you will tell us all about Cherry's Jubilee.
Delicious.
Or how delicious Cherry's Jubilee in general is, because I know I saw that as an ice cream flavor at Baskin-Robbins.
I don't like cherries, so...
Or how fucking crazy, stupid, suicidal stunt shit, how crazy you'd go for that to win back your dumb millennial girlfriend.
Man, I would go the distance. For Kimber, anything!
Next week, Kristen, is obviously Hollywood Gem Part 2, but let's take a moment here, because we've got a few future CWTA pod things that we'd like to discuss. We've got this Saturday coming up, this Saturday after this episode goes up, which is going to be June 17th, 2017 is the date, the Saturday, not the Wednesday that this is going to go up. We will be doing something a bit ambitious. It is a YouTube live stream of the very first soiree. And Kristen, please ask me what a soiree is.
I will do it only because I am so proud of you for this one. Hey Joe, what's a soiree?
It is CWRA, a Can We Read adventure. It will be starting tentatively at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will be doing the first of 3, Kristen. 3 gem... Well, only the first one. There's 3 altogether. We're going to be doing the first one, not all 3 at once, because holy fuck. But the first of 3 gem Choose Your Own Adventure books, a Find Your Fate book, as they are called, because Choose Your Own Adventure might be copyrighted. These are
I think it is,
fucking
actually.
straight-ass 1986, 1987, whatever year it was, gem books. Gem Choose Your Own Adventure books. The first one is called Jewels in the Dark, and I remember at least on, like, the paragraph that I read, there's blood that makes an appearance, so...
Nice!
Fucking
Let's get real down and dirty with these jewels.
can't wait for that. I hope it's better than Mardi Gras and their fucking stupid jewels.
It has to be.
As well, it's Kimtacuber season. The Gem Season 2 Kimtacuber is upon us soon, so please send in anything you might like, love, hate, find hilarious, whatever about Season 2 of Gem, because we will be recording this episode on the morning of June 25th, more than likely. Please send anything in to cwtapod@gmail.com or cwtapod on Twitter at cwtapod. We will take anything. We will love to hear anything. Obviously, tell us what you love about Gem. Give us your favorite songs. Give us your not favorite. Give us your favorite fashions. Tell us it was fucking stupid. How about anything? Anything will be great. So keep all of that in mind. We will be giving reminders, of course, in the meantime through usually the Twitter page. I know I will as well, just kind of be like, hey, contribute, please. We love you all very dearly.
And I'll pop onto the Twitter page to be like, hey, buy my Persona 5 merchandise.
For the Can't We Talk About podcast, my name is Joe.
I'm Kristen.
And join us next week for Hey Look It's Jim, Hollywood Jim. I don't know how to say Hollywood Jim this entire episode, Kristen.
Oh no! The winner is in the mail.